There are different views about recreation and leisure management. For today's discussion, we are going to know what are the different views and what are the social factors affecting the management of recreation and leisure. At the end of the discussion, the students will be knowledgeable about first, the basic concepts of recreation and leisure management. Second is to identify the varied views of recreation and leisure. Third is to inform about social factors promoting recreation. And last is to enumerate other factors and challenges facing the leisure service field. There are different objectives in recreation management. First is to foster an appreciation of natural resources and supervising it. Next is to enable personal satisfaction and benefits. Next is to encourage positive recreational behaviors. Next is to manage economic benefits and cost. And then to protect natural resources while providing recreational opportunities. There are also areas in which recreation impacts. First is environment or environmental, of course, social, and then the last is economic. What are the 5 pieces of recreation experience? Of course, first, you will anticipate and plan. Next, as you anticipated and planned, you are going to travel to the site. And once you are on the site, you have this on-site activities and experience. And then afterwards, you are going to travel back home and to collect all of those experiences or to reminisce all of those experiences from that recreation experience. Resource management concept. So as we accept visitors or tourists within the recreational facility, we should also put in our minds on how to manage the resources properly. First is what is the concept of preservation. Number 2 is to protect the non-renewable resources. Next is to conserve what's available and to use wisely all of the natural resources. When we say leisure management, this is about the delivery of leisure services by understanding the phenomenon of leisure and how to organize a department and facilities. It also involves leadership, organization, and finance, as well as community planning, accountability, partnerships, diversity, and of course, the control, quality, and performance. Leisure management is about a thorough understanding of key concepts such as leisure, play, sport, recreation, tourism, and events. What are the varied views of recreation and leisure? Recreation and leisure is a network of agencies. For elderly, senior-centered, for the sheltered workshop, it may be a treatment center for physical rehabilitation, or it can be mode of traveling and expansion of travel and tourism. For the growing generation, it could be risky. It will give them excitement and fulfillment in other physical activity. For environmentalists, it gives an impact on environment. And for the general or universal acceptance, they value the recreation and leisure. So we are going to open this link for the example of mode of traveling expansion of travel and tourism. Here it is. This is from disneycruise.disney.go.com.
Be like you.
piece from the video presentation of Disney Cruise. So they are really centering on the magical experience, the family, the friends, as they advertise their Disney Cruise Company or Disney Cruise Line. So for others, recreation and leisure is for traveling or different modes of traveling. Okay? Another is for them or for others, this is a motivation for recreational participation. So as we view recreation and leisure, people really wanted to be involved with different activities, not just for the sake of involvement, but for the sake of fulfillment of what will they feel after they are being involved on that activities. And these activities, the recreation and leisure activities, are those activities with purpose for health, for physical, emotional. It will develop holistically a people or individual who are engaged with this kind of activities. So one of the varied views is to be motivated to participate in recreational activities. So for these pictures, we can see that people are doing jogging, people are having this gaming by group, they are attending concerts, and even they are cleaning the environment. And for this one, individually or by team, okay, we are able to climb a mountain. So as we participated or as people participated at different recreational activities, they also gain friends, they also gain colleagues, and they also have these people on their back to support them when they need them the most. And the ways on how to deal with these people or to finally meet these people again is through participation with recreational activities. Next is diversity in participation. So we have different nationalities, we have different preferences. In terms of gender, we are having this different principles, or we identify ourselves differently. So with recreation and leisure, it also has diversity in terms of participation to such activities that individual or individually they want for themselves to experience. Okay, so that's diversity in participation. Next is social trends affecting recreation and leisure. So before that, this slide, we will enumerate what are those social trends affecting recreation and leisure. So first is the national affluence, or the emergence or the consumption or recreational expenditures, and then the commodification of leisure and commercialization of recreation, population trends, where people live, influence of technology, health, fitness, environmental concerns, the changing family, and maturation of organized leisure fields. Okay, so we have this increase in discretionary time. So as part of the varied views about recreation and leisure, people are going outside because they have lots of discretionary time or leisure time or free time to spend. And spending this free time or discretionary time should be meaningful. Now, they should have this activity with their families, with their friends, and even alone. And or they might visit places that they really want to be into and to enjoy, to relax, to feel something out of these places, of the activities they perform, really satisfying, and for them to become a recollection of their moment or their experiences with these places. So people go outside because they have this increase in terms of discretionary time. Okay, So it also affects the type of job that you have. For our previous study about the history of the recreation and leisure, people who are working or underclass, are working class rather, do not experience this freedom in terms of discretionary time because they spend most of their time or they spend most of their times working, no, unlike the middle class and the upper class. So for today, even people are working, it is by the law that people should be given, or individuals or employees should be given a leave or leaves, so a number of leaves, a day off in a week, and a maximum of 8 hours. And if in a day, working a day, and if it will exceed, that will add up with their salary. So in terms of adding up the salary, they have this another source of income that they can spend whenever they will be having this vacation, no, during leisure and recreation time. So we have already said the social trends affecting recreation and leisure. So let's start with the national affluence. So when we say gross national product, this is a measure of the value of all goods and services produced by a country's residents and businesses. As our gross national product increase, we are able to provide different facilities, goods and services to people, because as we increase our GNP, we're also being able to create this kind of businesses for the people. Because in effect, there are lots of jobs offered in the country. There are lots of people working and employed. So that's why they are able to render taxes or to pay taxes, and the government will be able to produce out of their taxes this kind of facilities or recreational facilities for them to enjoy. So that's national affluence, or the recreation of expenditures. As the expenditures are being developed because of these facilities available for the recreation and leisure purposes, they are able to generate sales and again generate taxes, no, in order to recreate another facility for these purposes, which is centered for relaxation and for holistic improvement. Another for national affluence. So this is a household final consumption expenditure in recreation of billion Philippine pesos from 2017 to 2020. So from 2017, it generated 206.15 billion pesos. For 2018, it created 289.74 billion pesos. For 2019, it created 316,006 centavos in billion pesos. And in 2020, because of the COVID pandemic, it just created 177.66 billion in Philippine peso. So these are the consumption directly for the recreational culture in the Philippines from 2017 to 2020. So as you can see, it really affects the economic growth of the country. But in the year 2020, it declined because of the pandemic, but it will recover soon because our lawmakers, our leaders are doing projects and infrastructures or tie-ups within local companies or even international companies that can help us to regain again or to regain tourism and hospitality services, no? Specifically for recreation and leisure. Okay, so for this one, this is a percent distribution of arts, entertainment, and recreation establishments with total employment of 20 and over by industry group. So this is for the year 2013. So this is job employment or job offered with this group of businesses. So we have for the libraries, it created 3.9% of jobs. For creative arts and entertainment, it created 11.6% of jobs. For the sports activities, it created 21.9% of jobs. And for other amusement and recreation, it created 27.0% of jobs. And then of jobs or employments. And then for gambling and betting rather, it created 35.6% of job opportunities. So it does not only focus on the tourists or the benefits of the tourists, but as well as the creation of jobs from these different sectors of the recreation and leisure or the facilities. So they are also creating jobs for people so as to have an effect on the economic growth of the country. Another one is the commodification of leisure and commercialization of recreation. So when we say commodification, it became a commodity. It became a need. So leisure really commodify or commodifies. No? So we really need leisure. No? And as we need leisure, we are able to commercialize the recreation. So for example, here are the television company or the companies that offer television shows, game shows, or gaming applications, that can be formed as a leisure even at home, and or activities that can be enjoyed during leisure time, and it becomes recreation. So of course, you need to have, as you want to have this kind of service or experience, of course, you need to spend or to pay for this. So that's when commercialization happened. And it's not just on a certain place or a specific place, but all over the world. Now, what's good with the technology now is that it grows and grows, and it has lots of options for the viewers. It offers lots of activities or movies to enjoy, as well as the gaming applications here. So it is a one way of spending your leisure time. At the same time, you are able to help with the commercialization of the recreation out of these activities. So that's commodification of leisure. So leisure becomes a need, and then as a connection, or as a link with that, the recreation are now commercialized, or being sold to people. Next is population trends. So there are different groups of population, different generations. From generations, baby boomers up to this generation, the Generation Z. So we have different characteristics, and we have different decisions when it comes to recreation and leisure. And recreational facilities, and as well as the leisure industry, really focus or segment their market so as to create offerings for this different or differing population. So we are able to cater different markets. Anyway, all of the segments of the market really wanted to enjoy and to be relaxed and to feel satisfied whenever they go into certain places. So it just need, for the point of view of the people in the business of recreation and leisure, it is very necessary to segment the market well and to offer recreation and leisure facilities in accordance to what are the demands based on the research or based on the capacity of the market. And recreation and leisure is a wide industry that can cater almost all people. And based on the pictures they have or experience, these people really experience so much happiness from the destinations or the places they come into. And they have different population or generation. They come from different population or generation. And it is very a domino effect when one is spending and the groups are also paying for the recreational uh, offerings of the hospitality industry. And we have lots of graduates as well coming in, and soon they will become professional. And as they become professional, they grow old, they retire. And of course, as they retire, they will also enjoy, or they will also visit several places. So that's the circulation of the population. And recreation and leisure services or facilities are always there, are always available. So as we connect that to social trends, we also need to take good care of the environment or these facilities. Because if we do not take good care of this, even there are lots of population that can spend for this, maybe the place will not be visited because it is not managed well. So really, it really needs recreation and leisure management in a proper way. Um, when the demands are high because there are lots of people coming in, and you have shortage of supply because you are not able to preserve the place to be visited, it will not generate income for the economic growth of a certain place, of a certain country. So that's the connection between the social trends and the growth of the economy when it comes to recreation and leisure. So it not doesn't only means that there are lots of people in different generations, but if you do not take good care of the place, it is also a nonsense to have this group or ample amount of people, but you do not have places to offer for them. Okay? Another is where people live. It can be urban, suburban, or ex-urban. So there are different categories of places. Now, of course, for the urban, these are the places that are um, really have this successful or have different places to visit to, or they have generated lots of income from the facilities within their places. So because of recreation and the place of for example, in the SEA Games, so Tagaytay City was one of the places for or venue for the skateboarding and cycling events. So they are able to generate or to uh, reveal the city the certain place for that event. So as well as the New Park City Interlac, they hosted international competition or gaming competition, and the Rizal Park in Manila. So whenever there is a place to visit, as we go along with our discussion, these places are being renovated and beautified and spend lots of income or lots of investments from these places in order for this to become a tourist destination or attraction. And then as this become tourist destination and attraction to people, this will generate income. And for the events that are being held with the places, although the events will not run as forever or lengthy, so the events might have a month or weeks to be spend within a certain place, but the renovation will be continuous, and the effect of the renovation for the place will be continuous. And with that regards, this will also add up income because people will be curious or will visit the place because uh, as one of the marketing strategies, they will become known because of the event that was happened on the place. And again, that will generate income. Okay. Next is the influence of technology. So in just one click, we are able to be relaxed, to enjoy, to have a leisure and recreation activities. Now, there are lots of gaming applications or social media platforms covering our technology nowadays or covered by our technology nowadays. And even just at home, we are able to feel for the different activities. Now we are able to experience this kind of technological advancement at home. No? So this really also give us relaxation and enjoyment, and this will also generate income. And of course, health and fitness. So for the health and fitness, people are visiting places or doing activities because they wanted to feel or they wanted to be healthy. And it doesn't only be focused on a certain population, but all of the population or generations will is entitled to have this kind of recreation that's centered on health and fitness. Because nowadays, as we experience COVID-19 pandemic, we are not sure of what will happen tomorrow. So we need to be fit in order to be active in life and to live long. So one of the offerings for the recreation and leisure is to just enjoy the environment, to just enjoy the place. So sadly, the gyms are closed with this uh, type of quarantine. We are in a modified ECQ. Okay, so we should be able to follow strict protocols, minimum health standards. Now, for the gymnasiums or the gym fitness centers, they are closed as of now. But we also have this open area for jogging, for running, and to still do activities in relation to health and fitness. So again, this will generate income, no, as we have this domino effect of the tourists paying and then taxes, and then it will affect the gross national product of the country. The changing family. So today, as we experience COVID-19 pandemic, people or family are giving emphasis on the how they will have this quality time for each and every member of their family. And even though there are no not yet open for the theme parks, no, theme parks are not yet open for the families to be catered because of the enhanced community quarantine or modified enhanced community quarantine. In some other places, they can even still enjoy, you know, relaxation at home or bonding at home. No, and they are doing play. No, when it comes to family, they really wanted to focus on the enjoyment, relaxation, and the family ties, no, to bring back the relationship for the families. Because also in the recreation and leisure management or recreation and leisure businesses, this is one of the main goals, no, to for the family to be bonded and to enjoy the beauty of the nature or the beauty of the recreation and leisure facilities that they are entering. Okay, so again, this affects the recreation and leisure. For the social factors under maturation of organized leisure field, so there are different categories of service providers. So we have the public agencies, we have the non-profit organization, we have the private membership organization, the commercial recreation enterprises, employee recreational programs. So this is very important as part of internal marketing, armed forces recreation, campus recreation, therapeutic recreation services, sports management, and tourism and hospitality management. So these 10 major categories provide services and contribute to the economic growth as well as to the growth of the leisure and recreation industry. Other factors and challenges that are being faced nowadays in the leisure service field are the need for professional help, professional identity, the influence of professional specialization. So in a leisure and recreation business, it is very important to be for those industry or facilities to be managed by professionals so as not to experience negative image or for example what was happened to Boracay, that the place was being not taken good care of by the management team. That's why there was a need to or for a closure, and that really affect or that moment really affected the lives of the people there, the employees, the businessmen, the opportunities to enjoy the view for the tourists, that was stopped because of the lack of the professional help from those professionals. So really, in a recreation and leisure fields, or service field, professionals are a big help. So as to maintain and conserve the environment and the ambience of the place, or to have a proper management when it comes to service in yes, the conservation and the preservation of the area. Some of the challenges are the contribution of recreation, the role of different agencies to resolve societal problems, the contribution of recreation in promoting positive intercultural understanding, and for recreation, meaningful role in the society. Number 5, recreation in building communities. Number 6, service to less fortunate society, and policies in serving ecological needs. So in every businesses, there are of course challenges to solve. And for these challenges in leisure and recreational or leisure service field, if the business will focus on how to give satisfaction to customers and to give enjoyment to customers, to focus on the um, benefit of the customers, and then everything will follow. So if you are really sincere about on how you will improve this field, in terms of servicing under recreational leisure, you are able to solve and to be committed to solve this kind of challenges. Most especially when it comes into environmental or ecological needs. So people or the government is really helping, when it comes to the preservation and the conservation of the area. And one of the ways on how they conserve is to have programs or to open for the companies or non-government agencies to help in the preservation of the resources or the natural resources for the tourists. When they visit, they are able to feel the cleanliness of the surroundings, the healthy environment. So, but then again, this is a very hard task to do because of some are not well disciplined, when it comes to visiting places. Okay? And as we show the contribution in terms of expenditure for our economy, we can see the large impact of recreation to the economic growth of the country. So, in order to really have this sustained, everybody should be disciplined, and in terms of the management point of view, they should be really they should really have activities or programs on how they can really help in the uh, having this areas clean or environment clean, no, and sustainable, no, in order to have economic impact again, no, as they satisfy the customers or the tourists coming into that place. Okay, so that are really as we serve our customers in the recreation and leisure industry. After that, after we give this satisfaction to the tourists, we are able to generate income. So, and then solving of challenges will be not so hard, because the main goal is to give customers satisfaction and give the needs, and of course take good care of the environment, and that's under recreation and leisure management. So for your assignment, first identify and discuss at least 3 important social factors that contributed to the growth of recreation and leisure. Next, what are the special meanings and values of recreation and leisure for different population groups? Next, why should leisure service professionals be expected to have understanding of the history, psychology, and sociology of recreation and leisure? And then last is, what do you regard as some of the most critical challenges facing recreation, leisure, service agencies, and practitioners in the years that lie ahead? And then justify your answer. So kindly use the right template. You may add other references such as videos, pictures, and articles to support your answer for your assignment. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope you learned something out of our discussion. Stay safe and healthy, everyone.